he was exhausted. He was literally fighting for his life in the water.
Hear him screaming help?
He may be out of the water, but the man is not out of danger.
Wait!
Oh my God.
A lifeless swimmer is being dragged from the water by members of the public.
Straight away, I'm preparing for a resus.
You stand on this tank, Mum. I'll get it. Hey,
We're going to come and grab the thief here. He's going to run it downwards. Yeah, mate, I'll do it now.
Defibrillators are used to resuscitate people by sending an electrical charge to the heart.
Where are they?
I know where they are. Those are the flag.
By a bit unconscious, do you mean he is unconscious or he's just fading in and out?
This guy had a bit of water coming out of his mouth. His eyes were closed and he was unconscious.
Lifeguards quickly assess the man to see if CPR is necessary.
He did have a pulse and he was only just breathing by himself. So with the bag mask, we were giving him 100% oxygen.
Drag him up a bit more. Get him out of the water. Take that. Take that. Come up to the dry sand.
The man was pulled from the water between the flags.
Can you bring that oxygen back over?
The flags are normally the safest part of the beach.
How we didn't see this?
What caused the man's near-death experience?
This is my whole crime stuff. I didn't see him.
When the guy started coming around, we found out that he had actually got really bad cramp in his legs and he just couldn't even swim. He just went under. We're going to grab a therapy. Okay, we're just going to change mask, right? Here it goes.
Akka is from Western Sydney and was swimming with friends.
We were out swimming, about close to 100 metres out. Just got a leg cramp and just started panicking. I had to pull him back in shore.
Akka, does he have any medical conditions, anything?
The biggest concern for Akka is secondary drowning.
The water Akka has swallowed could inflame his lungs and stop oxygen passing back into his bloodstream.
We don't know how much water he swallowed. Our recommendation is get an ambulance down here, get checked out.
What's that, mate? What's that? No ambulance. No ambulance.
Akka said to us that he didn't want an ambulance. At the time, still didn't think it was a good idea. You know, it takes nothing for an ambulance to come down, check them out.
The better, eh? Oh.
Lifeguards can't force people into an ambulance.
But we managed to convince them to stay with us for another 10, 15 minutes just to make sure.
We're just going to get him off the beach away from everyone.
Akka may not want an ambulance, but secondary drowning remains a concern.
It's always in the back of your mind, was, you know, we would have loved for him to go to hospital just for a peace of mind. But yeah.
It's essential lifeguards assess Akka further.
Do you want to breathe normally? We try, yeah? Okay. Just relax. Okay. Big cold down here. Yeah.
To measure the oxygen levels in Akka's blood, lifeguards use a pulse oximeter.
How's it going down there, man?
Okay, I'm just checking oxy.
So the pulse oximetry give it to us the 96%, which is good indication for us that it's getting better.
Yeah, there's an ambulance coming. We just want to cancel it. Yeah, they were pretty bad, and they've come pretty good now. So.
And I was just swimming, and my leg died, and I was just started sinking. And then I looked back up, and I'm on the sand with something in my face, giving me oxygen mask. And yeah, that's how I went down.
Today, Akka is lucky that he's going home in a train and not an ambulance.
It goes to show that you can't be too complacent. Even in the flags, you know, which is up there with the safest swimming areas, you know, things do happen. I think Akka owes a lot to his mates for pulling him out that day. I think Akka was a lucky man.
Our response time to incidents is measured in seconds. The difference between 10 and 15 seconds is life or death. I was trying to keep one eye on each of these guys. To have two and me, it's generally it doesn't work out for one of them. Keep going to the right. And I just got the biggest relief ever, seeing in my corner of my eye, Matt D on the other board. I don't know where he came from. Okay, take your bike. And I just turned and I paddled as hard as I could to where I thought I saw the other guy, and I couldn't see him. I saw him 1 minute and I didn't see him the next. Stay there, stay there.
Holy gosh, that was scary.
Stay there. Grabbed him by the hair, pulled him on. I had to look over my shoulder to make sure Matt had the other guy. And that was just the closure for me that we'd got them both. It was really confronting for me after having to speak to the boys about having someone drown in front of them. And, you know, we worked so hard to prevent that, and to have it almost happen, it's like, it hits you pretty hard. You right there? Yeah. Come on, out of the water.
That was insane. It was quite the other week.
I can't believe you didn't go under.
Yeah, good work, Beard, from here. Looked unreal.
I got down there and I saw Beardy paddling to nothing. And then he just stopped and scooped the head up out of the water. Just goes to show how quickly it can happen. Yeah, 30 seconds, dead.
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Best one I've seen.
Yeah, thanks.
As I'm getting closer, you know, I'm realising how dangerous this current situation is.
Desperate for air, the man pushes another swimmer underwater.
When it's a life or death situation, people's morals, they just go out the window. He's trying to save his own life.
The Good Samaritan rescuer drifts away, an unsung hero.
So I'm trying to overcome that language barrier by being stern, showing them that I've got control of the situation.
As the man's partner sobs on the back of the board, Harrison enlists the help of a local surfer.
You got to understand from their point of view, they think they're having the best day of their lives when it suddenly can go wrong.
Thanks, later. Appreciate it. Your boyfriend's a big boy. Yeah. Go on, man.
With danger averted, Korean woman G is much more relaxed.
I thought I was almost dead, and the guys who rescued us, he came and then he helped me. Yeah, I'm safe. I feel so safe. Oh.
Ryan's rescue should be straightforward, but he finds one of the swimmers in serious trouble.
When I looked out, I just seen Ryan like trying to drag this guy up, and I'm like, whoa, I've got to go out and help him here.
I thought I was on my own then, but yeah, I had the biggest sigh of relief when I saw Jesse paddling out.
Jesse takes care of the woman, but it's clear Ryan needs more help. Normally, a lifeguard would never leave the jet ski, but Ryan is forced to break protocol.
No other option. This guy, if I didn't get off the jet ski, he was going to go under.
The man is in terrible condition.
I thought maybe looking at a resus.
The barely conscious man won't make the trip back unassisted. But if the woman is left alone, she could flip the board and fall off. Jesse must make a choice.
100% it's risky, but I felt like I had no other choice but just to leave her with the board.
That lady drifting out to sea is still in the back of your mind. You got to go back and get this lady as quick as possible because she might get into trouble again.
When I got to shore, I thought maybe looking at a resus because, you know, obviously the guy was just so tired. He was just asleep on the mat. When I got him to shore, he was half limp. I said in his ear, "You all right, you all right?" And he was just going, "I'm very tired, very tired."
Just a few seconds longer in the water, and the man would have almost certainly drowned.
I said, "Have you taken on any water?" And he was like, no water, just too much swimming. And I said, "Yeah, too much swimming because you've been swimming in the rip for the last 10 minutes. If people don't listen, it's going to make me upset. Next time when you swim, just don't swim in front of that sign, yeah?" But it doesn't matter how frustrated I get. I'm down here to save people's lives. You okay now?
Two men are caught in a rip.
I just noticed out of the corner of my eye that there was two swimmers in trouble.
I was very lucky that Chapo spotted that guy, especially in between all the clubbies going in and out, you know.
Keep your eye out.
Yeah, gotcha.
As the men continue to struggle, people around them remain oblivious.
I reckon about 100 people just paddled straight past him, eh? People are just so interested in what they're doing that they won't notice people next to them in trouble, which is fine. It's just how it is, and that's why we have to be switched on. We can never rely on anybody else to do rescues for us.
One of the men gets closer to shore, but his friend is going backwards. Max passes the second swimmer who's made it safely out of the water.
Once I hit the water, I was paddling as hard as I could because I knew he was going under.
Finally, a local board paddler heads to the man.
When that lifesaver did notice him, it was a sigh of relief for me. And then the worst possible thing happened. That really escalated the situation.
Max is now the man's last hope.
This guy was really going under. I just had that tunnel vision and just get to him.
Finally, people nearby become aware of the situation.
Oh, yeah, Maxi's got him.
By the time I got out to the guy, he'd lost all his energy and he was very close to drowning. I'm tired. Big baby. Double. I can't swim.
You could see these two swimmers were in a lot of distress. That rip just had complete control of them and they were just getting taken out to sea.
Nicola attempted to give them direction and quickly surmised that it was pointless.
Go, Danny, go.
They're both in.
I wouldn't say they were completely hysterical yet, but they were definitely in the realms of quite a bad panic.
They're trying to swim against it and they're going backwards. They were doing the Michael Jackson moonwalk in the ocean, going backwards like this.
When we got them onto the board and they kind of caught their breath, they almost erupted into laughter. And I think for a lot of people, it's that embarrassment. Also, I think she was somewhat losing her swimmer top. So I think she was having a little giggle to herself as she was trying to keep her modesty. As soon as we got them into the beach, like, "Oh, thanks a million, thanks a million." It did not take long to realise that Declan and Kelly were Irish.
They just dragged us out too far. I couldn't swim anymore and I couldn't breathe. Just kept going under. I thought I was going to die.
The Irish definitely have an uncanny ability to find any rip on the beach.
I thought it would have been like Coogee and it would have been all right, but it's not.
I've got to love the Irish. My dad's Irish. My whole family's Irish, so...
The sharks don't get you, the waves will.
Two tourists are caught in a rip, but there are no lifeguards nearby. Troy breaks protocol and leaves the tower unattended. Troy is beaten by Beardy, who was heading to the change rooms when he spotted the man.
Yeah, Beardy's gone out.
Hear him screaming help?
The man is swept into the impact zone. It's Beardy's job to get him out of there.
As I get to him, pretty big set comes and we got pumped. Oh, the board! And I was just lucky that somehow the board didn't rip out of my hands.
We could hear him screaming help from up there.
In saying that, we did get him on the board pretty quickly. And we got a pretty good wave in. Unfortunately, he was in a bit of a bad way when we got to the beach. He was exhausted. He was literally fighting for his life in the water.
You good?
He was sick. He was a little bit vomity.
Water on the lungs can cause secondary drowning. He may be out of the water, but the man is not out of danger.
You all right there? Wait.
Oxygen therapy in his case, yeah, it's pretty important we get that on pretty quickly.
Did you swallow any water or are you just exhausted?
I don't know.
You don't know? 1, 2, 3, go.
He had nothing left. He couldn't even lift his own body weight. And you know when someone's in that condition that it was a close call.
Murad's friend witnessed just how quickly things happened.
We were having really good time there, and as soon as, that was pretty deep then, so, I got so scared,
Yeah, give him a hand on the back of the bike.
Ambulance, thank you.
Even in the tower, he was in a bad way.
You feel sick in the tummy at all?
No.
No?
It's like I feel like somebody hit me.
Dizzy?
Just really.
Headache? Okay, take that in. Nice deep breaths. Okay. Oh, hello. Drag out of the water. You swallow your water?
Yes, but I think it was less than a cup.
Slow your breathing down, mate, all right?
Murad is off to hospital for a full assessment.
I kind of knew that he had swallowed water. I saw the waves breaking over his head and he's very lucky.
Now he's back to thank Lifeguards.
No water in the lungs.
Yeah.
Doctor let me go, thanks.
It's always good when the patients come back and either thank us or maybe a little bit of an explanation of what actually went on in their eyes.
These guys are awesome.
Hey, man.
You think about your family, you don't think about your friends. You only think, this can't be it. And you only think of how you should spend your life. But it's a beautiful day. I'll be back at it tomorrow. Pay attention more to the facts. Bondi Beach, Australia, mates. From Russia, with love. Forever yours, Murad.